If you received this letter in the mail, what would you do? A. Panic. B. Call the number on the letter. C. Call your tax professional. Or D. Call the IRS directly. The correct answer is either C or D, because this letter is counterfeit. I'm the Tax Geek, and here is how to spot a counterfeit IRS letter, oversimplified. As the public are getting more and more educated about IRS scams that come in the form of phone calls, text messages, or emails, scammers are now sending official-looking letters demanding payments and threatening seizure of property or other consequences, such as arrest and prosecution. There's no doubt that these are sophisticated scammers who are willing to risk a relatively small amount of money for a potentially huge return, even if only a tiny number of people who receive the letters respond to them. These scammers are also counting on the possibility that a small percentage of the recipients might actually have a debt to the IRS, or have had a debt in the past. They also take advantage of the fear many people have for the IRS. They might pay just to get the IRS off their backs, even if they don't think they actually owe the money. The scammers have also done their homework and did their best to replicate an IRS letter, such as this simulated CP2000 notice. They just didn't do a good enough job, because this is what an actual IRS levy letter looks like. Unless you're a tax professional, you have no idea what different IRS letters look like. So let's take a closer look at this letter and point out what makes this letter counterfeit that doesn't require you to be a tax geek, like me. First of all, how did the letter arrive? Did it arrive by ordinary mail or certified mail? Most IRS levy or seizure notices arrive by certified mail. Why is the county sending out this letter? Counties do send out lien notices, but they do not also demand payment of a debt that is not owed to them. All the scammer appeared to have was the person's name and address. A quick Wikipedia search would give the name of the county where the city is located. There's also some important information missing from the letter. There's no return address on the letter. The recipient's social security number, not even in a redacted form, is not shown on the letter, as well as the tax year or years in question. And there's no way to respond or pay other than by calling the number on the notice. More on that in a bit. The genuine letter contains all of this information and clearly gives instructions as to how to pay. The fake letter makes several references to the federal tax authorities. This is not how anybody refers to the Internal Revenue Service. And like most scam communications, the letter is rife with grammatical errors, such as these two sentence fragments, odd terms of phrase such as this baffling statement, and misspellings such as the word filled instead of filed. So what would happen if you actually called the number on the letter? First of all, don't call the number on the letter, even if you recognize it as a scam and you want to waste the scammer's time. Scam baiting is a risky behavior and should only be attempted by people who know what they're doing and understand the risks involved. So with that being said, what would happen if you called the number on the letter? Your call would be directed to a boiler room, most likely overseas, and instantly they would have your phone number. By calling, you have established yourself as a live one who is likely to respond to scam correspondence, even if you don't ultimately fall for the scam. The person who answers the phone might start out by being helpful and friendly, but when it becomes clear that you're reluctant to pay, they will use increasingly threatening, abusive, and even profane language to get you to fork over the cash. Or they may try to offer you a settlement for a lesser amount. Or they might do both. The scammer will tell you to send funds via a money transfer service or retail gift cards, which are difficult to trace and next to impossible to stop payment on or cancel. And they will ask for all sorts of personal information you should never share with a stranger, most notably your social security number, but also your date and place of birth, your bank account information, additional addresses and phone numbers, personal family details, and more. Once the scammers have this information, you're vulnerable for all sorts of identity theft issues and additional scams. So even if you don't pay today, you'll end up paying eventually. So what should you do if you get one of these notices and you suspect it might not be genuine? Call the IRS directly at 1-800-829-1040 and follow the prompts to collections. The representative who answers the phone can easily tell you how much, if anything, you owe. They can also assist you in setting up an installment agreement for whatever you do owe. Unlike the scammers, IRS agents cannot take payments over the phone, but they will tell you how you can pay online or by mail. They also cannot negotiate a settlement for a lesser amount. If you have an IRS online account, you can access the account to obtain your current balance for any recent tax year. Any genuine notice you've received recently should also show up there. Forward the communication to phishing@irs.gov. Receiving these communications can greatly assist the IRS in investigating scams and maybe keep others from being victims. You can also inform the Federal Trade Commission of the scam by going to identitytheft.gov. If you have a professional who regularly prepares your taxes, contact them and show them the letter. In fact, you should do this for any notice you receive, genuine or suspect. And share this video with everyone you know, especially those who are more vulnerable to these types of scams, such as elderly friends and relatives, or those people you know who might be more naive or trusting. To learn more about IRS scams in general, links are given in the video description. If you have questions, comments, or stories to share, please leave them in the comment space below. And subscribing to the channel will give you more oversimplifications of our overcomplicated tax system. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with more of your taxes oversimplified.